great service to the Christian church. And given that this volume is composed of essays written by former students and colleagues and longtime friends, it is also a celebration of your great personal impact on all of us. Now, this volume was originally conceived about 4 years ago, before the SBL in San Diego. So we've been sneaking behind your back for some time now. It's been 4 years of furtive conversations at the SBLs and top secret emails and constant reminders that mum's the word. And with SBCK originally on board and Fortress Press coming in alongside, we set the date for this SBL because in 2 weeks' time it'll be Professor Wright's 70th birthday. Given that fact, as well as the fact that we were trying to keep this secret, some of the publishing staff have been referring to this volume under the concealed title of The Birthday Book. And we are thrilled to be able to finally reveal this secret knowledge to you all. Now, how does one go about celebrating somebody like Professor Wright? I mean, you've written more books than are contained in the Bible, and some of your books are potentially longer than the contents of the Bible, right? And so Eric and I determined that we wanted to capture the breadth of your scholarship as well as your theological vision. Just as a quick anecdote, one time when I was in Professor Wright's office, we were having a conversation about the nature of the atonement, and the topic of TULIP came up. I don't know if you remember this. Which TULIP is an acronym for the Reformed system of soteriology. And Professor Wright said, "Tulips are entirely fine as long as they're not the only flowers in my garden." And what I love about that story is not only that it captures Professor Wright's quick wit, but also his constant reminder that God's plan and purposes for the church and for the world are far greater than we even dare to realize. And so with that, the title of our book, which we offer to you with gratitude and appreciation, One God, One People, One Future.
So before I present my copy as well, just want to say a couple words about the title and the structure of the volume. It's appropriate that we began tonight talking about Paul and the faithfulness of God, listening to Professor Wright's reflections. Because when the scheming began, John and myself and a number of other people that I see out here tonight were meeting on Tuesday afternoons to discuss this very work in New Testament seminars. And a line that came up so frequently in those discussions was, one God, one people of God, and one future for God's world. In some form of that. And the more that we reflected on that, we thought that it would be just the perfect structure, the perfect tripartite structure to this volume. We thought it was something that offered a broad range of engagement, but housed within a category that defines one of Professor Wright's most famous interpretative claims. Note the use of interpretative, not the barbarism, interpretive. Only took about 10 corrections to get that. So, John and I would like to join all the contributors that are gathered here tonight, as well as those sending warm wishes from afar, to present you with these volumes.
Thank you very much. This explains why it did look rather a sort of odd event. Thank you very much. There's lots and lots of thanks here. This is more than one can read on the plane back, and more than one can read probably in the next 3 or 4 months, but I will read all these essays with great delight and fascination. And yeah, it's beautifully produced. Thank you, Fortress and SBCK. That's a great joy and an honor. And I suppose approaching 70, there's all sorts of questions, like biblical questions about 70 years and 10 and all of that. But I've had such an odd pathway through the last 50 years that it wouldn't have occurred to me, because I haven't had the ordinary scholarly career, that this kind of thing would even be dreamed of. So, but I should have known, actually, some young men like this are good at dreaming dreams and seeing visions, and it's been a delight to have them and the others. So thank you all very much. It's a totally unexpected gift. Thank you.